Going through some spinach right now that's wilting and moving along the wilting process here by making some homemade miso soup. This is a spin on the traditional miso soup that you would see with seaweed if you were to go to a restaurant and grab yourself a bowl of miso. I throw spinach in, and especially spinach that's wilting, because it doesn't really look that pretty. There's not a whole lot else you can do with it, but there's still a lot of vitamins happening in here. It's not totally useless. There's nothing really wrong with it. It just doesn't look good. So I'm just gonna pick out the ones that are really like brown. One way you can tell if something's good to eat or not is just by looking at it. You know, something that's really lost its color and it's like sort of vibrance there, that's not going to be as good to eat. That's my timer for my eggs, which I'll talk about in a second. All the rest of these in here with a nice color still have a little bit of elasticity to them and firmness. Those are going to be fine. So I'm throwing these into just some boiling water because I don't have any more stock right now, but you could also do this with vegetable stock. That's great for miso. But I actually have just something I bought from the supermarket, just Shiro Miso. It's a soybean based paste, and that's what most miso is. This one doesn't have any flavoring in it or anything else special going on, but there's also just a wide variety of different types of miso paste that you can buy in the produce section at your grocery store, because this doesn't last forever. You keep it in your fridge, but you can get a couple months out of it. So this one's going to be good until April, and I just bought it here in January. And so the next thing that I'm doing, I'm keeping this. I don't want to boil it. I just want to keep it at a simmer. It's already boiling, so I'm going to turn it down just to a nice bubbling simmer and keep that going while I take on the next step here, which is, in place of soy, I am going to use hard-boiled eggs. So I have these eggs, they just finished boiling. A little tip about eggs, if you didn't already know, you want to use up eggs that have been sitting for a couple weeks in your fridge on this hard-boiled business, because they're a lot easier to peel this way when they are a couple weeks old. I'm sure everyone's had an experience of trying to peel hard-boiled eggs and you get that sort of like not ready to peel look going on. Takes away some of the white as you're peeling it, and that's no fun. So use eggs that are a couple weeks old and that won't happen. Another thing you want to do is crack the eggs. I usually do top and bottom on the counter, and then keep some cold water going. Sometimes you can throw them into a bowl of ice. That works too. And what's going to happen is the cold water is going to get in under these cracks that you've made and help to loosen up the shell. And let that sit for a second. And then the soybean paste, usually the way that this miso business works is you're going to do like a tablespoon per cup of water or stock, whatever you have going on. So I'm going to throw a good, I don't know, a whole spoonful in here. Follow the directions though on your miso that you get, because it'll probably have it written on there, hopefully in English. This is not necessarily a traditional American thing yet. Let that go for a little bit and see if there isn't any more spinach that I can pick out of this bunch here. And then all I'm going to do is peel back the eggshells, cut them up, and I'm going to leave the yolk out of this. I might use that in something else. I usually try and use everything in something, but today I am going to take out the yolks and just cut up the whites and throw them in there. And it's going to look just like the miso that you get at the restaurant, except we used spinach and egg yolk today. The miso soup with egg whites and spinach, and I actually threw together just a little leftover vegetable Asian inspired salad over here. I made a dressing out of some soy sauce, or in this case liquid aminos, sesame seeds, honey, olive oil, and white vinegar, and I did a little ginger, fresh garlic in there, and I just mixed it up in a measuring cup and threw it on top. I'll post the recipe of that with this. Yeah, I just threw it over some veggies that I julienne. Julienning vegetables can take a little time. You can also use a vegetable shredder, or you can just rough cut them and throw the dressing on top. It's really nice. It's fresh. It's refreshing. It makes for a great lunch, and it'll sit for a good couple days in the fridge and actually just get better because the vegetables almost marinate in this dressing, and it tastes great. So if you have any questions about this meal or any requests for future recipes, let me know. Post below, and thanks for watching. Bye!